you know, if they can kind of stagger their ultimates in this early to mid game, it's going to keep Team Zero on their toes. And I think Team Zero kind of have a similar way of like, if they use Split and Overgrowth and CTY dies, then all of a sudden there's kind of a big opening for Go Along to play around those cooldowns. So, you know, and it goes both ways. As long as Go Along don't stack up all their ultimates, don't give any openings for Team Zero. This, I'm liking what they're cooking. The only thing I don't really like is the Phoenix Dawnbreaker lane. It's not the strongest lane. And I think that's where the Wraith King Treant Protector is really going to take advantage of.
Yeah, so you mentioned the wrench in my plans, right? Let me tell you about the wrench in the wrench. Once right now, under some trouble, but a huge hammer onto 2, Beyond and ZZQ. They're the ones suffering right now, the last punch out. They get the first blood, Outsider will be the one to claim it. One still standing in front though, he's just gonna get worked out. That's the Faceless Void losing his life there. Start beating back the opposition. I thought for sure it was Curtains with that beautiful Starbreaker from Killer. It's not gonna be enough. Wimo walking up with the kick. Looks like he sacrificed his own life in this situation though. Will turn around, get finished off, and with that Poison Touch coming through, the Cold Feet, not enough to take down 7E. They're absolutely beating each other right now. And Starbreaker Killer is on an absolute tear. 4-kill involvement, they might just look at 7E. See, he'll just give up the bounty rune. He's not even... He needs to keep his life preserved, but even then, he has to do the Walk of Shame back. Or actually, he's just going to start the lane out with 100 HP. Disaster for the side of Team Zero to start out this game number 2. Not looking very good for their hopes of closing this out into 2-0. And yeah, back to the point I was making, wrench in your plans here. Sure, you know, your Dawnbreaker gets off to a good start with these kills, but I can't help but feel like this... Muerta, okay, they've opted for a bit of a swap again. Ice is gonna be here with CTY. I was so sure that if it was Treant Protector CTY, they'd be able to just crush this lane.
Yeah, a little weird. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, now you're basically putting the Brewmaster Beyond with, you know, a Treant Protector who, sure, is gonna be...
It doesn't really speak to me, does it?
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't really have the same, oh, you know, I'm gonna proc Cinderbrew over and over and, you know, fear the Faceless Void and he can't time walk out and we're actually gonna kill him in lane. It just speaks to me like they're worried that this Faceless Void AA is actually gonna outlane them and they just want to keep him safe. I mean, ZZQ could very much prove us wrong here. This player has been standout for me along with Ice like I mentioned. Maybe he can get aggressive.
This could be a situation where they think Muerta, you know, we talked about the DOT and how good the calling is to Void. Maybe it's just one of those, like, Treant Protector has more DOT and Void is a little bit sadder dealing with that.
Okay.
I'm trying to find any sort of reason here. I can't think too much of it. I don't know why you'd want to lane these double melee heroes with each other.
I mean,
I think out of...
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, Rape melee hero too, so...
I mean, I think I just... realized something that we conveniently forgot. Silence against the Phoenix suddenly makes this kill doable.
That's true.
And that's really all I got. I mean, you silence up Killer as well. Suddenly he can't turn around with a Starbreaker. You're not trading anymore. You're just running, right? And that's kind of the situation Ice is going to put them in. And good harass as well. Able to just pepper down this Dawnbreaker, force the early salve out. Create a lot of space for this Wraith King to work. That's exactly what he wants.
I wonder if there's ever any case to build Blightstone on Muerta. I feel like her right clicks are really strong and she does it a lot in lane, but then, you know, you don't really want to build Medallion, so the Blightstone feels weird. But we saw AA start with the Blightstone last game, ended up selling it later on, so I don't know. Maybe I'm cooking. Maybe I'm thinking. I don't know. But just thinking like Blightstone could be kind of good this game because neither of these two heroes really have much armor. Killa fine sitting at 5, but TK 1 armor. You can really punish this Phoenix.
Yeah. Just keep blasting away here. And even with those fire spirits.
Nice dead shot.
Yeah. Messing with TK a bit. I mean, he has that dive. If we catch him with the calling, he is going to be easy pickings. DTY just posturing for that stun, scaring the Phoenix away here in this early stage. Well, we haven't really talked about the mid lane matchup. Now, Earth Spirit is this stable mid laner, should be able to get a lot of good CS with the kick, secure the range creep and whatnot. But Yeah, I mean, Dazzle really good against these melee laners, right? Is there an angle for Wymo to come out on top in this lane, you reckon?
It's possible. I think Dazzle should kind of just roll over this lane, pun intended. It should just kind of roll over this Earth Spirit. The Poison Touch, I believe, is just a little too strong for Wymo to deal with, especially when it starts getting levels into it. As long as 70 doesn't tank too many tower shots like he just did.
Yeah, yikes, yeah, suddenly dropping a little low now. And with the kick, he might just be going down. That Shadow Wave is not enough. Wymo gets slowed up though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, not the Dazzle effect. Not like this, Wymo. He's just gonna slowly go down. Are you kidding me? Very, very unfortunate there. Just saw the kill slowly limp away from him.
He had Rolling Boulder up again. That was an awkward engagement. I don't know. Maybe he didn't realize he had roll. Maybe it just came up when he died.
Maybe he
that's
just
the case,
believed that he could reach him with the staff.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. That was very sad to witness either way.
70. Keep himself healthy here, but still has to watch out for those kicks, right? Those are so potent.
Yeah.
Heads up play for Wymo here. Unfortunately, can't close the kill. He should still be fine here. We'll have to watch for that level 6 specifically on him because he definitely is a lot more mobile and open to making the moves than the Dazzle is.
Yeah, Dazzle, much like the Bristleback, is one of those heroes that kind of wants to sit in lane and farm ags. Can make TP plays, but other than that, it doesn't really have a natural way of rotating into lane and then getting a kill. It's a little awkward for the Dazzle.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Well, oh, you know what? One thing we didn't talk about at all is the Wraith King Dazzle.
Huh.
Team Zero, yeah, they've got the big ol' shadow waves coming in.
Oh yeah, the skeletons
right?
with the eggs, right?
The big burst. Got the Brewlings as well to add on to that. They're cooking, dude. This is a great draft now that like I'm breaking down the little synergies.
Yeah. It seems like they just keep adding ingredients to the pot that you didn't realize, Crash. You're really liking this meal that they have served up for you. TK, caught inside the calling. It's quite a bit of damage that Ice Ice is just laying into them, and we're seeing this laning decision come to fruition, right? The Moeta able to just keep Killer and TK pressured back non-stop. Have to ferry out so many tangles just to keep themselves sustained in this lane.
And this might be one of those lanes where Killer might be biting himself a little bit, not getting the Luminosity a little bit earlier. Because you don't have the most kill potential with this Phoenix lane. So getting a second point in Celestial Hammer doesn't really do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, he probably thought that he might be able to just kind of pressure out a bit more, and maybe not so much that he would be cowering under his tower here, but that's the reality.
I don't
that
like
he's
this at
dealing
all,
with.
Sneeze.
Killer
just got a second point in the Starbreaker.
Okay.
I think this is a lane where you can really benefit from Luminosity. Just a little bit more sustained is going to save you some gold. Bottom, there's 3 heroes.
Okay, the rotation through the twin gates. Ice Ice here for a little visit. But so is TK here. Deadshot finds the AA. Beautiful stuff here. Just playing behind this tower. Not something the two supports can deal with or go along. We'll just have to watch Ice Ice stroll his way out of that one. He'll be fine. Beyond will collect the creep wave. Keep the farm going here. 6-minute rune. Unfortunately, guesses wrong on this Dazzle. That Arcane rune can enable some action for Wymo. He's very close to that level 6, and 7E has to be careful. These rolls can come and keep on coming.
Now, what is that going to bring it down to? Like a less than 10 second? Definitely a less than 10 second cooldown. Right, 9 seconds or something like that. Let's see. Popped it. 8.4, yeah.
Up to max the Boulder Smash just so he can clear the creep wave faster, which is respectable. But yeah, that just limits there's a bit of continuous chase potential.
And then TP up top, Wymo. CTY is way forward.
Yeah, a bit too over-aggressive from that Wraith King. Uncharacteristic mistake from this player. CTY gonna take a tumble in this top side. Keep on going here. Arcane Rune, Ice Ice. Dead shot away, but TK diving on top of him. Has that rolling boulder up again. If he can connect, gotta try. Guesses wrong, unfortunately. Ice Ice jukes him out. But he will come by and spot out these stacks. Uh-oh. Ice Ice Stuck around, not sure for what. The nice dead shot, but with the magnetized damage, should be enough to finish him off. I'm saying that, but the dazzle comes through, heals his little buddy up, and he'll be just fine.
That's a caster curse need just a little bit, but you know, you called it and it just didn't happen. Sorry to break it to you. Once not level 6 yet, just use time walk.
Uh-oh,
in
Beyond.
some trouble.
That's a split. The Astral Pull bringing him back into their arms. Has the second. Oh, the 3 levels. He had it off cooldown, but the boulder finds him. Nicely done from the Brewmaster and ZZQ to make that happen.
Radiant's middle tower
Oh, it
is
looks
under
like they
attack.
want more. ZZQ making use of the tree walking from the Nature's Guys. Coming through on the outsider. Oh, this AA. He is slow to a crawl. No way for him to run as Beyond comes through. Wants to claim another earn charge, but Solar Guardian coming down. Killer hit that level 6 as well, and it's gonna make them pay for it. ZZQ, not that just yet. The hammer comes down, and Beyond gets caught out by it. He's still gonna come forward, finish off outsider more than likely, but they brought 4 at this point. And Beyond might just be saying worth to his team if he's able to juke his way out of this one. No way. One more kick, surely you find it. Tags up the Brewmaster, last touch is there. Still gonna miss. Oh my goodness, that's so much time wasted. It's gonna be Wymo who finishes that off with his own earn charge.
It's a great use of the first Solar Guardian for Killa. Has that Soul Ring as well. And start cleaning up these stacks that Ice is currently sitting under. They're calling the level 2 Starbreaker, and with Wymo here as well, they are able to get that kill.
Bit over aggressive
Onto
from the
Ice
Moeta
Ice,
coming
yeah.
in like that. I mean, I'm not really sure what he was looking for, but he found nothing but death.
And this is really cool, because Dawnbreaker making that play, TK sitting up top, gets this Phoenix a lot closer to his 6 than this AA, who Outsider's been sitting, kind of babysitting the Faceless Void for as long as possible. Right? You know, as a support, you kind of want to give your safe lane carry a little bit more XP than you take. So one's getting close to that level 6, but the one who's suffering is his AA, and that Ice Blast. It's going to come in handy this game. If you don't get that in a decent time, could be on the bus trip to Struggle City.
Yeah, but bot side, you know who's on Struggle City? This Faceless Void right now. Queued up the Midas, but bottom of all the cores at 3.2k net worth. It's a rough spot. They will set up onto ZZQ here. Spot him out thanks to that ward through the Twin Gates. No rotation for you, Trien. He'll be taken down, but top side coming through. They couldn't close the kill out onto TK. It's just not enough disable. He's able to dive out of there. Even if they do commit, he has the egg, so it could be very scary if once decides to TP in with the Chrono.
Is under attack.
Rotations galore is probably going to be the name of this early game. These Twin Gates are going to really come in handy to make those things happen. And even mid might see a potential rotation onto this Dazzle, but you know, 70, like we said, he's one of those heroes that you know where he's going to be. He's going to be sitting in his lane, farming up that Aghanim Scepter, and you're going to do what you can to make sure that that stops. ZZQ bottom. He might get a solo kill off onto ones with a dead shot from Ice Ice. He gets it.
Bruh. How do you let that
There's
happen?
That Twin Gate.
Was that just he time walked away from the Brewmaster and then?
Yeah.
Oh no.
ZZQ follows him through the trees, and they even saw Ice Ice come with that ward. It's just there was really nothing else that the Void could have done there.
That's just right. I mean, maybe just the only option is just not being there. But honestly, take a look at the map state. Where else is he gonna farm?
Is under attack.
Yeah.
Radiant structures
He is not just on the bus trip to Struggle City. He is a resident and a tour guide at this point. This Void not having too good of a game. He's gonna join up with his team and try and make use of these level 6s though. Put the side of Team Zero in a tough position and make them decide if they want to come in and try their hand at this overwhelming team fight that they have no chance of winning. Overgrowth is a bit...
Oh.
It is available. Not
anymore.
anymore. Yeah, ZZQ. Once again, a bit of a weird one from this Treant Protector. Uncharacteristic mistake from him. I guess they'll defend the tower? I don't know. That's weird. They'll just come through.
It was a show of strength.
Yeah, clean it up anyway. And maybe he just misclicked. That had to be a bit a misclick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I would like almost guarantee it.
Probably you
That
just like
was,
out-click to tell your team it's available and then you actually click it. Yeah, out
I don't
button's
do
not
that
really working.
anymore. I've done that once, and I just don't do it anymore. That's why I get on mic like, hey, I've got my ult.
Uh-oh, 7E started to get set up on by the AA. Outsider was there to meet him at the rune, and all the healing in the world not going to be enough against TK and Killer.
I mean, you say all the healing in the world. There isn't too much healing outside of the Dazzle. Treant Protector has the Leech Seed instead of any levels into the Living Armor.
Your spirit leaves your
Yeah,
body.
yeah, I mean, 3 levels into the Leech Seed, still a decent amount. And it opted to
Yeah.
forgo it. ZZQ, you know, he's more on the hunt as a Treant Protector. He's been involved in a lot of these kills, but he's still dying quite a bit as well, being found out in the trees by this Earth Spirit, by this Ice Vortex. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, Dawnbreaker's even a hero that can follow. Like, Dawnbreaker Phoenix are also heroes that can follow you into the trees, so... It is, you know, on paper, a decent Treant game, but when you get down to the nitty-gritty of things, it starts becoming a little bit harder. It might try to set up onto Killa bottom.
Whoa.
CTY and beyond in the area, but Killa is able to just kind of wiggle his way out of there. I wonder what CTY is going to build. He's got 1,500 gold, Midas, and Phase Boots. Beyond. He's showing you how to Brewmaster. He's got the vessel working on the Midas.
This is what...
tried and true
Come on, like,
Brewmaster.
this is the recipe. You know, you had the textbook in front of you. You know, you decided to go completely off the rails on Killer. And understandable. I mean, look, they're a little zany, right, on Go Along. So I don't really blame them. Same thing for Team Zero, though. But there are just some things you can't forgo. You need that Midas to keep up in terms of net worth. Take a look at where he's at. Beyond, CTY, and 7E, all sitting at the top right now. Sure, they're being closely followed by Killer. This time on the Dawnbreaker has had a spectacular game. Once. Target of aggression up in this top side. Nice dead shot. Kind of forcing him out of range of that Solar Guardian, which is pretty funny. He didn't get as much healing as he wanted to out of that. And at least he'll preserve his life.
Yeah, I mean, that's good, right? But you didn't commit anything for that rotation. It forces Void back into the jungle, and just with the Midas now, Void has a long way to go before he's ready to want to fight. We'll be able to use the Chrono to set up these big ultimates, and that's probably the only thing they can do, but all the while Once isn't farming, you get a lot of other heroes on the side of Team Zero that are. The only one who really isn't is Ice.
Yeah. Hey, he'll be happy just to receive this wave and get a bit of EXP information while he's at it. Uh-oh, Beyond. Spotted out by this ward. This will be a huge ticket kill if they can grab it straight on with the Ice Blast on top of the Chrono, the bubbles like you talked about. But no, the silence right in time. Heads up play from YMO to save that for last there. It's only one level in the Geomagnetic Grid, but it makes the difference. Kills off that Brewmaster. Unfortunately, it's TK who gets the kill, but it's going to get him closer to his own Hand of Midas there.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, okay.
Wise is this?
Hand of Midas Earth Spirit. It's not too often that I get to see that. I mean, it's certainly fine, right? Earth Spirit is one of those heroes that, like you talked about, like the Brewmaster, definitely likes to get more levels. Killa, interesting. Goes for the Celestial Hammer Slow talent instead of the Starbreaker swipe damage. I don't think I ever see this unless it's on a support Dawnbreaker.
I mean, it's really good just because, okay, I know it's not amazing, but the main problem of a Wraith King is being kited around, right? If you can slow down all these units, they don't really have the best mobility on the side of Team Zero. If things get sticky and things get hairy on top of the Ice Vortex already, they're not going to be able to walk away from the Phoenix Sunray or maybe the Earth Spirit who will be chasing them down. I don't think I mind this too much. It's pretty interesting.
It is absolutely interesting. And little skeletons are gonna make their way over to this lane. CTY here as well. Almost with that Radiance. 800 gold away. So that's gonna force Brewmaster to move into other items beyond. It's gonna queue up that Blink Dagger. TK also has a Midas. What's our Midas check? We're at 5 Midases so far.
This is truly the Midas patch. Is anyone else building it? Is Ice Ice going it, you reckon?
That's what I'm thinking, right? No, it looks like we're just gonna see the Rod of Atos from the
Boo, boring.
I know. They got the Wraith King bottom. Once.
They got perfect setup.
Again. Yeah.
They're gonna make it twice.
Yeah, they can. Yeah. That one does burn, Killer. You're right.
These
All
set
the while,
plays
they're
have
making
been...
good space for once.
Yeah, they're still gonna try and fight though. Ice Ice comes through. I don't know whether this is a fight you want to take, but they're gonna try and commit onto Wymo. That's the egg on the high ground. They don't have enough damage to cut through it, and Ice Ice, it's gonna pop on top of their heads, and that is so much time wasted. Wymo able to TP his way out of this one. Disaster. As a supporting cast, Killer, he's still looking to fight with that Starbreaker magic invulnerability. It kind of may have stayed around a bit too long there, not respecting the Dazzle, and the Dazzle will do him in.
My congregation's
Big mega kill streak going the way of 7E there. Ends up being a pretty even trade altogether.
Yeah, it's just a 1-for-1. That definitely favors Team Zero because of that kill streak. And they can actually continue to put up pressure and engage as they've staggered their ultimates. They only really used Pierce the Veil and Overgrowth.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Right, they still have that primal split. And Egg is going to be on cooldown for a little bit longer. Magnetize also on cooldown. Little bit of a window for Team Zero to get aggressive if they so choose, but it looks like everyone is content just backing up and farming, not wanting to, you know, force too much aggression and make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, CTY is still a little bit off his own Radiant, so we'll probably want to wait for that to be done with just first. And, you know, this Aghanims, it's only just a power ramper for this Dazzle, who's once again been very, very quiet, but still getting his own bag up. Blink Dagger complete, which means he's gonna tinker it up. Oh, Wymo.
Wymo. No Overgrowth for 40. They do have that instant root.
Silencing him up, blocking the roll. I heard a Chrono on the sidelines though. They hold the Dazzle in place. Can they get beyond before he gets a split? No! The Brewlings come out and uh-oh, Killer, you're gonna be in a load of hurt here. TK still doing a lot of damage with that Sunray, but with the Deadshot and the Hurricane up to the skies, you're not going anywhere. The Phoenix drops back down to the ground to watch the Dawnbreaker die, and Ice Ice, even with those Fire Spirits, should be able to finish off the Phoenix Egg. Beyond narrowly survives there. But they wipe out 4, and that was the Chrono, Magnetize, Egg, Ice Blast, everything used for Go Along, and it just wasn't enough. All they get is the Dazzle.
And this is one of those times, Sneeze, where after you've used all of those abilities, you have a window to make an engagement on Team Zero. Right, Reincarnation is back up, Overgrowth is back up. You use Split, but that's okay. You've still got 2 big teamfight ultimates, and Pierce the Veil, you know, that doesn't really, you don't really care.
Yeah,
about
I don't know
Pierce the
about
Veil.
I don't know about that.
Cooldown is super short anyways, right? They don't care about it, and it's super short, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, this is the timing that they can find here. That's what happens when you draft big team fight. You're at risk of not having it for a long period of time.
Yeah.
I don't know what Team Zero could look to do with it though. I mean, it still feels a bit too early to go into Roche. They don't necessarily have the best tools. Sure, the Dazzle can work, make them work. But yeah, he's gonna settle the Tormentor for himself there. There's the Poison Touch Hex. Ooh, that is gonna be scary business for the Faceless Void and the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, even heroes like Dawnbreaker and Phoenix are very susceptible to getting destroyed by this Dazzle Shard. Does not feel good to get your Starbreaker. Actually, to be fair, Dawnbreaker now has the Solar Guardian Shard. Not Solar Guardian Shard, the Starbreaker Shard. So, it's fine, actually. Does not care about getting hexed. I lied.
They'll be carrying on here. Looking to continue putting on the aggression. It feels like Go Along. Isn't it kind of concerning when you execute your big team fight and it doesn't even work out? You just use the Starbreaker on the creep wave. That's gonna leave you susceptible to Atos. The rest of the supporting cast of Team Zero stream in. They actually choose to commit the split in advance. They know response is here, and they want to make the move onto Wymo as well. Oh no, he could get rooted up, but manages to get the roll through. Phoenix shows themselves. Managing to dive away, put up to the sky by Beyond. Showing you how to play some Brewmaster here. Shard just hexes it up completely. Oh, they got the touch on the Dazzle, but CTY's there. As a response, Wymo He'll set up for the Ice Blast and the Chrono, but they use the Faceless Void up in the air. They might just get 7E again, but he just graves himself. They take down Outsider, and once forced to run away to the wins. They got 4 the previous time. They want to make it 5. The stun up, and CTY, the one true king, cleans him up. It'll be Beyond to get that double kill. And oh no, Team Zero, they are running away with this one. 17-17, the kill score is even, but 7k gold lead already, and these 3 cores on the side of Team Zero have not moved an inch from the top of the net worth chart.
I don't think they're going anywhere. Beyond, he's the lowest one, and he's got a Midas, right? His net worth is going to be fine. He's got 2,000 gold that he hasn't spent yet either. I'm so curious to see what this Brewmaster wants to build.
KMG
Right, Octarine core is certainly possible.
Blink Hex.
Yeah, Blink Hex could be sick. Ice Eye's actually going for the Aether Lens this game.
Interesting. Maybe just wants to catch from further away with the Aethos. Well, one thing I'm kind of, workshopping in my head is, do you want to get a Pipe on the Brewmaster? Like, there's so much magic damage coming out from Go Along. That would really increase the survivability, and you're already living through so much of it. The main issue is right now Dazzle's being chronoed and being ice blasted, right? But if you have that additional magic resist, he is gonna be a tanky little boy.
But also, like, get a Lotus?
Yeah.
Does actually, no, you couldn't. It doesn't feel good this game.
Yeah, it doesn't really. But Deadshot, Killer, he's not gonna feel good this game as well. Was already suffering on the Brewmaster to a certain extent that last game. I'll try and get the kick on Triad's just juking his socks off. What? Wymo? He's caught in a rough mix right now. TK is gonna come through, pop the egg to try and save him, but he's taking out to the magic damage. There's the one. There's the kill. ZZQ gets ticked out by the Spirit Vessel on the Earth Spirit here, but Beyond still chasing down the TK, slowed up to a crawl by the Poison Touch. Wymo forced to roll away, sends his salute and regards to the Phoenix for saving his life there.
Time is money.
That's egg down. This is another opening for Team Zero. Chrono will be up in 15 seconds, but without the egg, without the magnetize, how much damage do you really have in this Chronosphere?
Oh, 70 canceling the TP, and once can't make it back to base. Meanwhile, his team's just being chased down. Here comes CTY. Should reveal some sort of vision on the high ground there, but really it's just daytime. This poor AA doesn't have a space to exist. They will finish off the Dazzle up in the top side though. Chrono not needed. Killer joining him with the Solar Guardian. But oh, look at this rat. Look at this play. Once and Killer, they need to escape here, but there's the split straight onto Once again. There is a tier 1 tower for TP2, but like you said, no egg available, only some Fire Spirits in hope of slowing down this aggression. The Astral pull onto the Phoenix. And now they've Aethos him up. That's the BKB reveal from the Faceless Void though. He has a Chrono, needs to find his targets. Coming through to the back line, pops it onto ZZQ, gets that first kill. The Wraith King still has his second life though, but Beyond already wiping out your back line. 7E rolling forward, taking down Ice. They're starting to fall apart here on the side of Team Zero. 5 members standing strong. The buyback from Killer comes into play. And a bit over-aggressive here from Team Zero. They end up losing a couple of key members. They take the fight without your Dazzle for such an extended period of time. And Beyond's gonna go down as well.
For some reason, Beyond stuck around. That was not it, man.
Yeah, and once he's gonna get that wicked kill streak straight into his pocket, we'll be very, very happy about that. And this shot on the Earth Spirit, being able to pull your allies back in there is gonna go such a long way, especially maybe fishing Once out of the calling, pulling him out when he's hexed, trying to create distance between him and the Wraith King. There's so much utility there.
If he uses it.
Yeah, true.
There's been games where I've seen Earth Spirits just not use their shard. Hopefully, this is a really good game for it, so hopefully we do see it get used.
So true.
This little skeleton's gonna give away there's a ward here. Wymo's smart, he's gonna ping out there's a ward on this high ground.
Yeah, it pings it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah?
How does this guy know that I'm here? Yeah. He's still following me up to the high ground. Like,
he's not gonna test the waters even more though. He could have used the little skeleton as just a litmus test here. Rolling up onto the Muerta, slightly off the mark with the second one. Here comes ZZQ, instant root, trying to block the roll, manages to do so. Well done here as Beyond circles around the rear. Wymo No more HP to work with, but they'll still turn around. It's enough. The Dazzle forced to Grave Ice now. The Poison Touch does a lot of damage, but they are taking out. It's too much magic. You pop the Primal Split, but it's your head that's going to be split wide open in short order. CTY, are you sure you want to join this engagement? Blinks out back to safety as Beyond. It's the Earth Panda. He ends it early and blinks out of there. Heads up play from this Brewmaster.
Has fallen.
But they're losing numbers here. And the Void didn't even need to get involved in that situation. Chrono's back up in 15 once. He has the freedom to walk into the Roche right now.
Yeah, it just looks a little disjointed from Team Zero. I don't know what they're doing. Like 3 heroes mid, 1 hero top, 1 hero bottom. It just felt like they weren't on the same page with that movement.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Not really sure. I mean, up until this point, they've been making such excellent wraparound maneuvers with all 5 of their heroes, but they're starting to get a little casual with it, right? They're starting to move as 2, as 3, and getting outnumbered by the sheer amount of force that Go Along bring to every engagement. Really, everyone other than the Faceless Void was there. And you can't disrespect this Phoenix damage anymore. Has the shard and the Sunray just tears you apart.
You have to respect all the heroes on Go Along. Every single one of them have the potential to not instantly kill you, but control you enough for their team to show up. You know, Dawnbreaker is going to be there at any given point in time as long as that ultimate is available. Right? Killa's going to constantly be playing the other side of the map until that Solar Guardian is up.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to stop him from doing so. A bit of a, you know, hit or miss performance here from Killer at different points in the game, but he very much does the job of coming through with the Solar Guardian. Not going the Axe build like you suggested, but still, I think this Dawnbreaker last pick has been very, very effective. TTY will show himself here on the wall. They don't know the rest of Team Zero are waiting. Once Will pop that smoke though, and immediately there's the retreat. Getting straight into the Roche
Big
pit.
news, 7E has a BKB.
Okay.
It's not going to save you from the Chronosphere, but it's going to save you from pretty much everything else. Go Along have to know something's up. They do. They're going to smoke out.
This could be the place where disaster writes itself here. The roll through Wymo doesn't have a gem, so won't be able to know that ZZQ's in the area. They start the fight off onto once. Lotus Orb available though, so the Dazzle has to watch himself. ZZQ, unfortunately, gonna get picked off to start the fight. Has a buyback if need be. He forced the Solar Guardian out onto Outsider just because they'll play around with him a little bit. Wymo onto the backside onto Ice, but Beyond forced to pop the split. Now CTY looking for a target but can't find anyone to punch. Meanwhile, the Chrono not even used just yet. They're trying to turn things onto the Earth Spirit, but there's the egg right in the middle of all of them, and they can't stand up against the sun. CTY, he's gonna lose his first life, but things are starting to fall apart for the side of Team Zero here. They're getting picked and pulled apart. They can't find a single target, and here comes the Chrono. Here comes the Void. Finds the second life of the Wraith King, but no, he wants the Dazzle. Rooted up and stopped for now though, and spoiled his plans for now. Wymo ends up going down. It's a lot of physical damage being burnt back the other way. The Dazzle heal is starting to come into play, but he finally drops to the deck. CTY, can he deliver his team out of certain disaster? Manages to chop down the Faceless Void, and Killer's trying his best to swing the hammer. Finishes off the Wraith King, takes down the Phoenix. No, sorry, takes down the Dazzle, but whoo, that was a fight. How many buybacks did they use? How many spells? I have to see that fight recap.
Too many, Sneeze.
Muerta, both supports having to buy back that. They still lose both their calls. Beyond is the only one who survives through it all. And all things considered, it looks even on paper, but I can't help but feel like Team Zero, that was so disjointed from them.
It's just been the story of this game, I think, right? It's just been awkward engagements from Team Zero, and it just doesn't seem like they're all on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what. You keep saying Team Zero are cooking. Maybe they've stayed in the kitchen a bit too long. Maybe the fumes getting to their head a little bit, because I don't know what that was. Throughout the entire fight, you can see CTY, he's having a lot of trouble sticking on a target or even finding who he's supposed to be going on. It doesn't even end up mattering. Like, the only time in the fight where they actually manage to turn things around is when the whole of Go Along sticks up on this high ground over here where Dazzle's able to get a beautiful heal bomb. But apart from that, Team Zero, they are struggling to make moves in these fights. I guess it doesn't help that ZZQ just gets picked off just to start over here, right? He thinks he has an advanced position on them, but they drop down the sentry ward and they spot him out. Not much he can really do about that one.
And this is where AA is just so beautiful this patch. You know, there's a reason we see this hero banned out or picked first phase in a lot of these games. And that's because of this vision advantage. Vision on the Treant Protector, and then you got the AA blast on these tanky heroes that like to build hard and things like that. AA is just, you know, very strong right now for a lot of different reasons. It covers a lot of different bases for you.
Ice Blast will come in, scouting out this Roche. The plan originally that they had in this topside resumes. They still get the Aegis on 7E. And they understand, no chrono, no teamfight ultimates, you know, no egg, go along, they can't fight. And this is kind of how you have to play against the Faceless Void. Even though that fight felt very, very painful for you to use so many buybacks and whatnot, you need to take advantage purely of the chrono timing. Anytime Go Along has that up, they will win the fight for sure, right? As long as they're not dropping all their keyboards simultaneously. But Team Zero, immediately after that happens, you need to go. You need to keep the pressure up. And now with the Aghanim Scepter on the Wraith King, could be a very different story. Even if you're dying on the Dazzle, the Graves could come out beyond. Take a page out of Killer's book here. Use the Primal Split just to start pushing these towers. Oh, wow. Wow. I mean,
He is
those
able to clear out his Brewlings, though.
yeah, they don't really stand a chance. That's a lot of physical and magical damage coming in from TK as well as Killer. Just wipe that push out entirely.
Radiant are scanning.
And they're going to smoke out on Go Along. Despite having the Aegis on 7E, Go Along feel like they can still fight.
I mean, they have all their ultimates up, right? There's no reason not to at this point in time. BKB complete.
Radiant
Wymo,
are scanning.
Titan Sliver as well. He is so strong. Status resist. It took so long for them to even muscle him down. Also allow Havoc in fight.
Yeah. Yeah, once has a Titan Sliver as well. Very, very big item this game. Also has an MKB on the Faceless Void. So this
Had a
Radiance,
sentry.
all of a sudden.
Had a sentry in the area, spotting out the Treant Protector, but just off a little bit of time in with the roll. ZZQ manages to fish himself out of there. But yeah, sorry, you were saying?
Oh, just Titan Sliver on the Void as well. It's, you know,
Yeah.
just very good. And it has
Couple
the
of Titan
MKBs
Slivers,
and the
actually.
Radiance.
CTY
Yeah, quite a
as well.
few. Yeah. Yeah, the Radiance now no longer as effective
Ooh.
with an MKB on Void. Going for that Satanic next. Void gonna start tanking up.
Radiant's middle
Speaking of
tower
tanking up,
is under
Wymo is
attack.
almost 4k HP with that BKB as well as the heart.
Forced the TP back just to answer this push out though.
Radiant's
They're uncomfortable,
middle
they'll show on the
tower
map
is
and
under attack.
immediately Team Zero will understand that they can continue to occupy this area and breach back into it. It's gotten a little bit hairy now because ooh, they were just off the mark a little. Outsider manages to make his way through the twin gates, leaves a ward behind. He knows the chase is coming. Immediately hides away. Still spotted out by a ward though. They know where this AA is. But they need to watch themselves. They could be chasing right into a trap. The rest of the Go Along heroes are in this area. Void will show on the wave and that should be enough to stop ZZQ from chasing any further.
Well, they see the Void now on that ward, so they know exactly where he is. No chance Ice and ZZQ have any right to make an engagement here on the Void.
I mean, it's still very split in the mid lane. They're setting up with the Wymo. 7E forced to pop the BKB and the chase is on for the Dazzle. Turns around, hexes them all. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? Blinks out of there with the help of the bad Juju.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Ooh, I mean, you had an Aegis, but still. Yeah, they're starting to push in. CTY. That's the pressure of the Wraith King, and they clean up this tower. Can make quick work of the Rex as well, forcing the Fortify out. That is not a good look. Wymo's gonna come through, clear up the first wave. There's a second one coming up very shortly. Should be able to get rid of these, but oh, the Wraith King can just keep doing these.
Yeah, as long as Wraith King occupies this bottom part of the map, you know, should be
Oh,
free
they're collapsing.
Skeleton
The
City.
pincer maneuver. Ice. He's run into a bunch of heroes, but are these the ones you want to fight? Once looking for a chrono opportunity, but the BKB not popped just yet. CTY, he's melting down. They need to get the egg, but they can't fight around it. They need to evacuate. They haven't killed the Wraith King just yet, as Beyond and his primal Bluelings still standing around. They're looking for this Fire Panda, but the move speed, it's too great. He gets out of there. Relatively low committal for the side of Team Zero here. And once again, take a look at this CTY. Ready to get the push going on another side of the map. They are just skirting
Radiant's
around
middle
Go Along.
tower is under
It's so hard for Once to decide where he wants to just pop this chrono. ZZQ will force stuff, blink away, sorry, to the low ground. They found Wymo here, and they're starting to try and burn down the Treant Protector. Should be able to get that kill. But it's a very extended chase, and take a look at where the rest of Team Zero are. They have no interest in taking this 5-on-5 engagement.
I guess they know with Aegis expiring, you know, it's a little bit of a sketchy play, and they can get Killa off this for free.
Forcing the BKB out, CTY and 7E will just immediately retreat upon seeing the TP responses. They are just pulling and tugging, go along from top to bot to mid. Anywhere they are not, Team Zero sprout out like drainflies and just swarm around the area, looking for whatever pickoff they can. Must be so annoying to play against, but it isn't really getting them anywhere. Team Zero, they haven't really been able to achieve much. Sure, you get the bot tier 3 tower, but the rack still stands. Go along, still are able to keep their heroes alive here. And MKB complete now for this Faceless Void means that the Primal Split, even if you have the Primal Split, even if you have the Brewlings, you know, burning you up with the... burning you up, or maybe the Wraith King Radiance burning you up, you can still punch through.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's had it for a little bit now since that last engagement, so... Now, certainly getting closer to that Satanic. It's going to be really hard to bring down this Void very soon. Ice has started the transition into a carry, has that Hurricane Pike. Chrysalis picked up as well. Now queuing up that Moon Shard.
Yon. Start slapping away here. With the Octarine Refresher, I mean, he's just gonna have split for days. They can't kill off him in the Bruling form. And that's gonna get even harder once he gets the... He already has the 1.2k Bruling's health. If they get if they get Drunken Brawler passive as well, ooh. But I don't think that's gonna be the case, right? The fear is way too good on Cinderbrew.
TK.
Uh-oh. Diving forward. Ato stop. Silence as well. This Phoenix can't afford to die, but they found the chrono onto the Dazzle, onto the backline, and the Ice Blast goes on top of his head. He's not gonna survive this mess. He goes down. He's in the Ray form right now. Might get awkward, but once is gonna get dropped by the overwhelming physical damage coming out from this Wraith King. Now Killer forced to run. Ends up working out for them there. They lose 2 heroes, but they fight right back, punching through, getting the Dawnbreaker and the Faceless Void. The Phoenix buys back in this situation. CTY is low, but hasn't even lost his first life. They can keep the chase out onto Outsider. Purging that Glimmer Cape. Very, very heads up here from Beyond. He's been on point with this Brewmaster from start to finish. Stunned himself on CTY, but I can assure you he's not bothered in the slightest. You can take this first life, but it's just gonna make you even slower. You can't go anywhere now. With TK back in the fray and the egg, it's a lot of magic damage. Uh-oh, CTY not respecting the Phoenix, and he goes down. Pops into the Ray form, the BKB pop from Wymo. He'll escape. They get the opposing pos 1. Now it's Beyond versus 2. Buybacks on every single dead hero. Can you believe the state of affairs we found ourselves in?
What a crazy fight. I mean, it all started off with Matt Faceless Void getting a beautiful Chronosphere on the exact one hero that he needed it on. You can get any sort of Chronosphere you want this game. As long as you get the Dazzle, you're in a good position. And that's exactly what we saw happen. Dazzle, you know, it is one of those scenarios where Wraith King with that Aghanim Scepter, you are able to keep your Dazzle up for a little bit longer, but at the end of the day, it actually was what sentenced once to death, was that Dazzle grave. Not grave, Shadow Word. But yeah, it was a great start of the fight, and Go Along eventually started to look like they were losing it, but they've held. I mean, they weren't going to lose their high. Maybe they would have if they lost that fight, but they've held. You know, they're holding for now, and they're creating space despite being down in the net worth 12k.
Kind of feels like as the game goes on and on, it's getting harder for Team Zero to potentially end the game here. I mean, they have the second lives on the Wraith King, Ags and whatnot, but just like they need to resort to some dirty tactics or like just some split pushing with the Brewmaster or some skeleton split push to really make things happen. You've reached late game Void, you've reached late game, I mean, Dawnbreaker, and we're starting to see this Phoenix and AA combo. I mean, sure, they don't have the most items on either one of them, but the magic damage that they're doing, oh my lord, it just melts CTY. He can't stand up against it. Yeah,
keep in mind, right, Phoenix's percentage-based damage. So it adds up on heroes like Brewmaster, who's built to be tanky. Wraith King, the strength hero, builds to be tanky.
Yeah.
Doing lots and lots of damage.
Yeah, it's so uncomfortable to buy a BKB this game too, right? But you're getting so much mischance from this Sunray, Wymo and beyond, dueling up on the King of the Kill. Manages to get the split off though. It's not too big of a commitment, all things considered. The Astral pull in, and there's the Abyssal. Solar Guardian is the response. Comes through with the dive, and immediately the egg. They're on to CTY. It's still his first life, so he is going to come back into the fray. Where's the rest of Team Zero? They need to set up on this Faceless Void. He can come straight through. They feared him out right now, but he's looking for a Chrono. Hexed up. Can they finish the Faceless Void before it bombs the BKB? Manages the Time Walk, and finds the Wraith King. Overgrowth on top of his head though, and if Ice Blasted CTY, but Ice just melts down the Faceless Void. He doesn't stand a chance against the overwhelming damage, and now it's Wymo against the world. Magnetized, taking down 2, rolling forward, but beyond the grave, this Wraith King, alongside his allies, will clean them all up. Now it's DK, eggless, allieless, and just a dive beyond. Surely will chase him down now. The buyback from the Wraith King, ready to clean up this game. As TK turns around for the Sunray, he'll go down. Last touch, ZZQ finds it. A gem on the deck, but very successful team fight. And Team Zero, I mean, that was the Wraith King X through and through. They almost full focus down the Faceless Void, which forced him to get onto such an awkward chrono just on the Wraith King. And it doesn't even matter. Now he's buying back. Now they want to end the game, and all you have is 16 seconds on AA. You can bring him back, but at this point, I mean, I don't know whether you even do that. No one else has buyback for a long while. Just from the goal, and uh-oh.
These racks are going to go down very fast.
Radiant's bottom
Oh, Wymo. Up into the air he goes.
Beyond can just keep doing that. Yeah, Wymo won't be able to play this game. Right, look at the Storm Panther. Straight in again. Cyclone up to nowhere. You're just gonna... You might as well be dead.
And it looks like Beyond did get the Drunken Brawler passive.
Yeah.
The Bruiling instead of the Fear.
The Ice Blast gonna connect onto CTY. That's a respawn of the Faceless Void. Doesn't have a Chrono to work with. Turns around, gets Abyssal. They're still rolling forward onto the Wraith King though. He has that second life available. And the Solar Guardian coming through as well. The respawns, they're coming out. ZZQ holding back the back line with that Overgrowth. But you lose your first life. Uh-oh, CTY. This is a buyback for him. He can't afford to die here. And he goes down. I mean, once he'll pop the BKB in the face of the Brewlings. Uh-oh, did you underestimate the damage? He manages to slide away on the back of that BKB. And that is 2 minutes without your Wraith King. But can the rest of Team Zero square up? Wymo popping the BKB out the Dazzle, forcing his. The swing forward Killer, swinging the hammer, trying to finish off the Brewlings, but they're just too tanky. ZZQ standing his ground. It's going to be Wymo now out of the picture. Ice, he's starting to do quite a bit of damage. The Hurricane Pike away, punching out on this Void. Fear him and throw him up into the sky. Killer trying to work down this Muerta, who has been such a pain so far. The Hex out once, finally has the Chrono, but goes completely wide. Can't find 70, brings out the Chrono, and they know exactly where their Void is. They'll ping him out, but it doesn't even matter. His team is down. They're still on the hunt here, looking for this Faceless Void. The Deadshot finds him the clap. Is it enough damage over time? That's the Atos. Can he get himself out of here? Satanic in the short bit. He needs to purge, starting the lifesteal, but the Drunken Brawler does him in. And that's no more Faceless Void for 90. What can you find here on the side of Team Zero? These team fights, they've been absolutely insane. And it really all just culminates down to once. He can't land a good Chrono.
And you know what, Sneeze, I called it, dude. 70, he's got that Arcane Blink. All he needs is quick fingers to be able to get out of the Chronosphere. He saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah. Really heads up play and understanding that that's what a Void was looking for. It would have been a disaster if they lost the Dazzle as well, but he's able to just continue creating so much distance with the Arcane Blinks and the Telescope. His blink range is basically your entire screen.
Now, TK just got a very big item on this Phoenix. Finished up that Refresher Orb. Double Egg. We saw how important Egg is going to be this game. And, you know, 2 eggs are better than 1. That's what I always say.
Yeah, fair. Makes for a good breakfast.
Yeah, very much so. I'm a 2-egg kind of guy when I make breakfast.
Yeah, and Team Zero are a 2-game victory kind of series player with the way this is looking. And Killer without his Faceless Void, they will have one last chance, right? Faceless Void, Chrono is coming up in 35 seconds, so this high ground hold is doable. It's just with so many resources, Ice basically becoming a carry himself. The amount of damage he's doing with this Pierce the Veil, 6 Spell M charges already, thanks to that shard. I mean, hell, they all have the shard, so they don't even need Tormentor anymore. Just getting it to deny it from the side of Go Along, and in they come beyond straight onto the high ground. 7E with the Hex, they're straight onto Killer, but the Chrono, they push him back. Once can't find it, and that's a huge egg though. He can't throw it out, 6 more seconds. They need to buy some time, but they've already lost the first line of the Moeta. CTY, he'll be dropping as well once. Finally, as that Chrono up, we'll have to see where he places it. The second egg coming through, that's a healthy breakfast that you wanted, and now onto the Wraith King. He's likely gonna drop. They've actually graved the Beyond Primal Split instead, and he's gonna be able to not get a second one off. They just take out the Wraith King, but they trade out the Void right now. The buyback's coming through, and the big winner of this fight, Dazzle, 7E, keeping his distance, a constant grave over and over, keeping his teammates alive. The poison touches the Hex. It's too much for them to deal with. He ends up hexing himself because of the Lotus Sword, but Outsider, nowhere else to run. Head slapped down and takes out to the magic damage. And surely, without Killer, without this Faceless Void, Wymo against the world, what can you do? Still being chased down, this Phoenix finally goes down to Ice. The buybacks on both supports though. Do Team Zero respect? Oh, Wymo, he loses the refresher on his courier.
Devastating.
And suddenly this hold looks a lot less feasible. You don't have your BKB for another 25 and beyond can just walk up to the high ground in 30. Let's start blasting away Ice.
Just walk up to high ground now.
We're gonna try. It's a lot of slow coming out from their side. And keep him rooted here. He does need to be careful. That is his buyback.
Void has buyback now though. He just got it.
They can try and bait here. They would hate to have the buyback here. Solar Guardian, kind of a swing and a miss. Beyond just making quick work of this top Rax, but not able to finish it off just yet. Rolling straight into a Hex. He has the BKB in the back pocket and he can pop it if he needs to. Doesn't feel that at the moment. Beyond still on the front line. He has the split, gonna come through and start working on this Rex. Meanwhile, forcing the BKB out from Wymo as the Primal Rulings just start to get to work. Already escaping with the Storm Ruling, so he'll be fine here. Oh, this game has just been so insane.
It's like, if you take a look at the net worth, it's not even close, which is weird because the kills are incredibly close, right? It doesn't get much closer than being completely even, Sneeze.
Yeah, CTY though, he wants to come straight back into it. They don't want to take their foot off the gas. Keep putting on this pressure. Chrono is available. Solar Guardian is in 33. Have basically all the teamfight ultimates that you want and split. Surely you wait for it. I mean, you have refresher, but you'd like to use that in tandem with one split.
I mean, a good opportunity is a good opportunity. If they get a potential pick-off, no reason to not just jump the gun.
CTY, they'll have to be so careful. They've gotten to a point in the game where it isn't hard to kill him off twice. Kick him back straight into the rest of the team. That's the first life already. Gonna take out Shirley, but there's the grave. Keeping him alive and Beyonder. He's straight into it. Trying to rat, scaring them away. Ato stop. Feared up on this Faceless Void. That's a few times that he's died. It was thanks to the fear as well as the Dazzle shot. This game is on a razor's edge here. Go along. They're gonna have to play the team fight of their lives to keep their hopes alive in this qualifier. On their last legs very much here. While it feels like Team Zero, they're just chalked up on resources. 2 lives on the Wraith King, Agonyms, the Dazzle, staying so far back with the Hex and the BKB. Can get that refresh almost instantly too. 3 sets of racks is all that stands between them. Hex out onto the Faceless Void. The Lotus himself falls above the BKB, but no chance. Ends up dying. They're trying to finish off the egg before he can pop here, but Ice likely gonna go down. The Ice Blast on top of his head. This will be a disaster if the Moeta goes down. The Faceless Void manages to land a Chrono. They grave him up though and Hex up the Faceless Void. Where's the response? CTY starting to chop down the Phoenix, but will be able to pop the Refresher, pop the Chivas, and 1 more egg to go. CTY can't work through this one, but Wymo getting hammered down by the Ray form of the Moeta right now. Able to roll away. Solar Guardian coming through. They'll chop down this tree and where he stands. And both supports out of the picture now. Things have gotten pretty messy as Wraith King falls as well, but they lose all their remaining racks. They get the Megas.
Sneaky Panda.
Yeah, he will get the tier 4 tower while he's at it as well. The Storm Panda well on his way out of there already. But it is a costly one.
What the? Do you see this? Deso AA?
What the hell?
What is going? What just? What?
I mean,
Sorry, Deso Phoenix. What's happening?
maybe they want to end the game. Oh, I know what it is. Is it because they realize that they don't do any auto attack damage against the Brew? The Brew, like, Earth Panda, so they're just working it down as soon as possible. I mean, right now, they understand that this is their last Hail Mary push. They're gonna load up on the Desos, start working down these towers. That's just about all you can do. It really feels like the last hurrah here for Go Along, both in terms of this game, this series, and their life here in the close qualifiers. 70. Let's pop in that BKB.
These two supports with Deso. It's so funny.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
All right,
I mean,
Wino now finish that refresher orb.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen as a result of it. That's the thing, right? Like, they don't actually even make it to the tier 3s. And now they have Mega Creeps to contend with. I mean, how many Mega Creep comebacks have we seen? They have the superior team fight and they found it again and again, but Team Zero, it's this Dazzle. He's yet to die in the past 3 engagements. He's been able to cast his spells from the back. Every single time you think someone's about to drop, they either reincarnate as a Ray form or they get graved, and then reincarnate as a Ray form, turn around, punch you to death. That's the case of the Moeta right there.
Yeah, Ice transitioning into a core once again this game is, you know, proven itself to be very good.
That's the power of the
I
Moeta,
don't know
right?
what you do. I don't know what you do as like a game designer to be like, you know, like I don't know how you fix this. Dark Willow transitioning into a core, Muerta transitioning into a core. It's like Spirit Breaker to a lesser degree. I think Spirit Breaker is on its way out, but
Okay,
you
I mean,
can still
for what?
transition
Hold
into
on.
a core.
Hold on, for what it's worth, I think Muerta's design was as a core, right? So the fact that she's strong enough to be played on the support, I think that's more of a thing, a testament to how strong the calling and Deadshot is more than anything.
Okay, that's
Because
fair.
I mean, Gunslinger, you know, that's a core passive right there.
Yeah.
Double auto attack. That's every carry player's eyes lit up when they saw that.
Alright, Killa recognizes what Killa has to do. He's queued up a Divine Rapier
Oh
for this
my
Dawnbreaker.
goodness. I don't know about this, Crash.
I mean, you got to do something, right? Wymo's not going to build a Divine, right?
Yeah, but
Avoid could, but instead he's built a Lincoln Sphere on once.
I don't mind it too much. It's been these hexers that have really been catching him off guard, and the abyssals as well. It's kind of hard for him to operate when he's just 100 to 0 without popping any of his defensive capabilities. So I don't mind this too much. Has a reverse time walk thanks to the shard as well, but doesn't have buyback for another 4 minutes. Can stroll into Roche in 30 seconds here. Get the Aegis for themselves. Probably the Moeta again. Try and make this fight work for themselves. Let's Treant Protector.
Just up 20
Queuing up
seconds.
the Aghanims, so he's gonna have eyes in the forest just to extend that vision advantage.
Safe word. Dark light.
The Shallow Grave is currently taking... Okay, it's back down to 200. 379 HP from 70, but he does not care about how much HP he loses because he gains it all back. Now 569. Holy moly. 70, how high can you get it, dude? Keep going. Keep pumping it. Let's see it.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, you really don't want to. It's definitely in a scenario where if you take a team fight, you don't want it to be super high.
CTY?
Once he's hexed up despite the Lincolns.
Starting things out here, they've rolled on to CTY. They don't want to commit the Chrono onto his first life though. They will finish him off in spite of the Grave. The Wraith King goes down at first, but Outsider on the sidelines gonna get muscled down. The AA doesn't have buyback. CTY, he has a second life in terms of the Wraith form, but the Grave, once again, it's keeping him up and running. They've committed the second egg onto him. The Brewlings, they can't do much about that. CTY still surviving the Astral Pull, gets him out. But the Wraith King finally falls. They commit the Chrono Void, but they're controlling the Faceless Void right now. TK on the backline has to fight against the Brewlings, and he has a second split if he needs it. It ends up finishing off the Phoenix. Both supports don't stand a chance, and in spite of the Lincolns, they managed to hex him. Here comes Killer trying to help him out, but the Brewlings, they're doing too much work. Beyond does it all by himself, and GG is called. Team Zero, in spite of the team fight, in spite of the magnificent plays coming out from Go Along, they will send them packing, send them home. And Team Zero 2-0 Go Along here to stay alive in the Chinese qualifiers.
What a game. Whole